Today we are going to do a morning skincare routine for those of us who are 40 years old or older. Actually, this would work great for those in their 30s and probably 20s as well. But this routine is full of products that are great for the skin. They are going to give you a very healthy looking complexion. The ingredients in them are absolutely fabulous. And the products themselves are at a price point of $26.99 or lower. I don't like to use descriptives such as affordable, budget friendly, cheap, wallet friendly, anything like that, because honestly, I've evolved. They no longer resonates with me. And what's affordable to one person is not going to be affordable to someone else. I am very conscious of that. So going forward, it's just going to be about price points. And this one is at the $26.99 price point or lower. So let's jump right into it. And at first I want to say hello. My name is Lauren O'Connell and I am the beauty editor at Cosmopolitan Middle East magazine. As you can see, I have an American accent. I'm born and raised in Milford, Connecticut, USA, and I have been living in Dubai for the last 14 years of my life, which I have to say I am pretty proud of myself for keeping my skin as intact and healthy looking as possible. The Middle Eastern sun is no joke, and I am really fair. I'm also the founder of planetlauren.com, and this website, on my website, I blog about all things related to skincare, beauty, wellness, women's wellness, and spirituality. And I do have a lot of blogs that are just waiting to be uploaded. I just have to find the time to do it. I am a one-woman show. So getting into the morning skincare routine. Oh, first I want to just mention, because I know the comments are going to be crazy, let's talk about just anything I've had done to my face. First and foremost, I do not have any fillers at all. When I say fillers, I mean any type of injectable of any name that has the purpose of adding volume, plump to your skin. I have no fillers. In terms of the Botox, I don't have any Botox on my forehead. I know it looks like I do because I don't move my eyebrows when I talk. This is just part of my anatomy. I've always been like this. Now I realize it and I really appreciate it because it saved me money from getting Botox on my forehead. But you can see I can move my forehead. When I move my eyebrows up, it creates, I do have movement, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't come natural to me to move my eyebrows when I talk. It takes a lot of effort to do that. I do get Botox on the sides of my eyes. I have not had it in a while. I'm actually scheduled to get it very soon. And when I smile, you can see that those little crow's feet are coming out. So I get the Botox right there just to kind of keep that at bay. And I do get a little bit of Botox between my eyebrows. And that's just because I started seeing very faint indentations of the 11s and I figured I'd nip it in the bud. So I started to get Botox there. I don't have it there really anymore at all. When I do get Botox, I still like to have a lot of movement in my face. My doctor always calls it baby Botox when he does it to me. I love a good laser, and I get lasers about twice a year. I had the Morpheus 8 laser in October of 2022. That was the last laser I've had. And in this last springtime, I had BBL, which is broadband light, and I also had Moxie laser. So I love to get lasers, and part of my job, I get them offered to me. It's a wonderful perk, and I do get them whenever I want to or when something's really interesting to me. I love to blog about them. You'll find it all over my Instagram and my YouTube. So I'm very open about everything I get. So getting into this morning skincare routine, first and foremost, this is not a sponsored video. If it was, I'd disclose it in the very beginning. I wish it was sponsored. It's not. You'll see that there's certain brands I tend to gravitate to, and that's just because they've been tried and tested by me over the years, and I love them. The first product is, the first thing we're gonna do is wash our face. So in the morning, wash that face. And I am using the Matte Hippie Cream Cleanser. It's $16.99. And I just wanted to, I have a little list here. I wrote down on the list all the prices for everything just so I had them so I could tell you what they were as we go through them. This cream cleanser is incredible for the skin. It is full of wonderful antioxidants and just amazing hydrating and skin softening ingredients. There is nothing in here that I would not put on my face. I have a video of ingredients I won't use, And I also have videos of ingredients that I absolutely swear about. I got really into ingredients about, I don't know, 5 or so years ago and started really researching all of them. I have a background in the sciences. My bachelor's degree is actually it's in mechanical engineering with a concentration in biomechanics. And I have a master's of science in nursing. So for me, just the bio side of everything, the research, dermatology, I just always really gravitated towards it. I loved it. And it's really helped me with researching and understanding ingredients too. You can see that I put this cleanser on my eyes. It does not burn at all. This is such a great product. And this is also part of my evening skincare routine. So if you use this in the morning, just know that you can use the same product in the evening as well. You don't need a special nighttime cleanser, or at least I don't think you do. I don't use one. So I'm going to just wash this off my face. And now I'm just blotting my face dry, and I'm going to put on my vitamin C. When it comes to vitamin C, I am obsessed, as you know, with ingredients, and the vitamin C derivative that I have to use on my skin every single day is tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. That's often abbreviated to THD ascorbate, and it is just so good for the skin. So I'm using this brand by Acure. I love this brand. You can find it at Target. If you live in Dubai, you can find this brand at Watson's. And this retails for $19.99. Tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate is oil soluble, and it's able to penetrate deeply into the skin. When it gets into the skin, it converts to L-ascorbic acid, which is the most potent form of vitamin C. And it's going to really brighten the skin, minimize fine lines and wrinkles. It's going to fade any discoloration, hyperpigmentation, and give you a beautiful, even skin tone. I really like this particular serum because I find it very moisturizing as well. It has a nice texture to it, and my skin is really dry. It's just very dry by nature, dry like the Dubai desert, the Liwa desert here in Dubai. So this is a beautiful serum to use on the skin. And in my other skincare routine, I use Sunday Riley's CEO Glow Oil, and this one I would say I love the Sunday Riley is my favorite, but this is a very close second. So this is a fantastic product, and I just want to check my notes. Oh, it does also have fatty acids in it. It has ferulic acid in it, which is also an antioxidant. The ferulic acid is going to help the THD ascorbate work even better. The fatty acids are going to really nourish and soften the skin. And it's full of antioxidants as well, which really help to brighten the skin. I have just a list of little notes I wrote about each product, so I didn't forget any of the highlights. I tend to start talking and my mind just kind of goes off, and there's sometimes when I'm reviewing the videos, I'm like, oh, I forgot to mention that it has this ingredient, this aspect to it, or this ingredient, and I make notes for myself now. So my skin has the vitamin C on it, and it is time for the eyes. The first product I'm going to use is an eye serum, and this is by Andalou Naturals. Once again, this is a product I found while just browsing through the stores, looking at ingredients labels. I love a good eye serum because it's going to sink down a little bit deeper into the skin. And this particular one also has vitamin C on it. So I feel like I'm just giving my skin the under eye area, just a little bit of extra care. It's going to help to really just minimize the fine lines and wrinkles. Trust me, I would have a ton of them if I hadn't been taking care of my skin the way I have, just because my skin is so incredibly dry. I live in Dubai, and I'm just very mindful of everything I put on my face. So I have that eye serum on. Was there anything else I wanted to tell you about it? Oh yes, it also has caffeine in it, and the caffeine is going to help to minimize any bit of depuffing. So if you wake up with puffy eyes, that will help you out. And then I'm putting on my Acure Ultra Hydrating Eye Cream. What a great eye cream this is. This is a great one for the dark circles. It has ingredients to treat that, and it also has, it has fatty acids in it, and the caffeine is what is going to help with those, there's a little piece here. the caffeine is going to help with that depuffing, and the fatty acids are really going to nourish the skin, to soothe the skin, and to just make that under eye area look as healthy as possible. The under eyes for me is kind of that area on my face that will go first. And I've always had a little bit of lines down there. It's just my anatomy, I would say, but I've really helped to keep everything minimized as possible and just keep my skin looking as healthy as possible. I always say I feel like I'm aging backwards, and that's just not with how I look, but it's also with how I feel inside. And I would say that this is definitely part of my aging backwards routine, although we could also call it aging well, because I think aging is the biggest blessing. And I'm so happy to be here today with you at 40 years old, just healthy, vibrant, full of life. There's so many people that didn't make it to 40. There's so many moms that didn't make it to 40. So I'm really grateful to, age well. And then I'm going to go in with my face cream. Now, this is another Mad Hippie product. I promise you I'm not sponsored by Mad Hippie. I wish I was, but I'm not. But this is their face cream. Now, this is packed with peptides, and it does have lots of antioxidants, hydrators, moisturizers. It's a lovely, lovely product. But this has peptides in it, and peptides, when you put them on your skin, they send a signal to your brain to start creating more collagen. So they're going to really firm up the skin. I've been using peptides now for about a good, probably, I want to say I've been mindfully using peptides for maybe about 4 years. And I absolutely love using them. I think my skin is a lot firmer because I use them, and it just gives it a nice plump, So put it on my neck as well, and just really get that skin nicely covered, hydrated with this beautiful cream. Now, the last step is, of course, the most important one, and that is the SPF. I am using yet another Mad Hippie product. This is their Hydrating SPF, and this is an SPF 25. It's broad spectrum, meaning it will combat both the UVA and the UVB rays. I use this even when I'm just staying indoors because the UVA rays will also be able to penetrate through glass. Some people feel like it's not necessary because it's not that much of contact with the skin. For me, I just like my skin to be, I just like to stay as healthy as I possibly can, and I define that as by also wearing sunscreen indoors. So I highly recommend it. And this is a mineral sunblock, so just keep that in mind. I am a big fan of chemical sunblocks, but I wanted to find one that had great ingredients in it, and I find that a lot of the chemical sunblocks that are at a price point of usually around $20 or lower tend to contain those pro-drying alcohols I don't like and I want to stay away from, as well as some other ingredients I don't want on my skin. So for this routine, I'm using a mineral sunblock, and I'm just going to massage it into my skin. And I always put the excess that's on my hands on the backs of my hands. Always keep those hands protected. I do also really like to use the Supergoop Play, and it does come in different sizes. So I feel like the price point of the smaller sizes would be around that $20 mark. But the reality of the situation is when I use the Supergoop, I always buy the big ones. These are quite pricey. So I wanted to show you something that you could use that was just going to be the full size product that would be at that price point. And I don't know if I said the price point. It's $22.99. The face cream I just used is $26.99. And I think that is because that particular face cream has a lot of peptides in it. And my assumption is that those peptides are quite expensive from the manufacturer. So my skin is now covered in this wonderfully moisturizing, nourishing SPF, and I am ready to start my day. Keep in mind, you always want to put SPF all over your entire body, but for this video, I just did my neck. I should put a little bit on my chest too. And what I also like about this SPF is it doesn't have that, you can't see a real noticeable white cast, whereas other mineral sunblocks, sometimes it's just the biggest issue. But this one I think is pretty good. So is it a perfect without that white cast? No, but I think it's done a pretty good job on my skin. So that is a skincare routine that has that price point of $26.99 and below. And if you're wondering what I use at nighttime, check that out right here. I have a skincare routine that is at $19.99 and below.